is Edward James.
We've seen a very different side of Edward James, the former Xtream champion, since losing that belt to Robbie Page, a man who was once one of the most hated members of the HWF roster, now being embraced, and with a new tag team partner. He is one half of Violent Love alongside Andrew Lovelace.
They've had quite a bit of success so far since becoming a tag team. I'm interested to see where this team is going to go from here.
Still bringing Barbie to the ring. That is his personally named barbed wire wrapped bat. So you only stray so far from who you are. Edward James still silent but violent, but maybe now trying to channel that violence against different opponents.
And here's the thing about these guys. These guys they're a homegrown talent. So these guys getting involved, I mean, can you imagine them being the first ever HWF Tag Team Champions, your homegrown talent as your Tag Team Champions?
They're going to need to stack up a lot of wins together if they want to do so. We're going to see Edward James in singles action. I know this music very well, TV's Mike.
I am very familiar with that music as well.
And his opponent from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You suck your mouth!
One of my favorite young competitors. I've watched this man grow and evolve over the years, but he walks into HWF. Forget about a chip. He's got a boulder on the shoulder. Isaiah Frazier has undergone a metamorphosis over the last several months, and I can't say it's much for the better.
I know that he was trained by Sin of the Grapple Vices. I think there was a talk about bringing him into the group, but Sin just can't stand this guy.
Isaiah Frazier, well, hurt people. And Isaiah Frazier has in some way, shape, or form been betrayed or abandoned by almost everyone he has ever trusted in a professional wrestling ring. Mentors, trainers, tag team partners. So now he is out for himself. The jawbreaker from Bodymore Murderland, Philadelphia's finest, and now the tooth collector of Baltimore, Maryland. Two very tough cities to live in, Philadelphia and Baltimore, and this guy has survived and thrived in both.
This is going to be a very interesting matchup. Both these guys, very tough competitors. You said it before about the silent but violent. And Frazier growing up in those kind of towns. This is going to be a fight for James and maybe a big test for him.
Huge debut for Isaiah Frazier, who was an alternate. He was not scheduled to wrestle. He got in the car. He came here seeking an opportunity, and the last minute, he got put on this card against one of the most dangerous members of our roster, and he's salty. I mean, he's real salty about it, is Isaiah Frazier. The idea that he had to be an alternate.
Never wasn't invited originally, and you kind of understand that, but still, there's no need to have the chip on your shoulder. And look at the way he assumes the position. Again, that Baltimore and Philadelphia background.
Well, I find that to be complicated, and I think maybe potentially baiting our crowd right now is Edward James.
And there goes the bell.
Has really been embraced by Lewistown, Pennsylvania.
Once inside.
Let me lay out some of the credentials of Isaiah Frazier, though. This is a man who I have seen and called have a NWA Heavyweight Championship match with Nick Aldis. He has gone one-on-one and taken the last real man, Silas Young, to the limit. In so many ways, Isaiah Frazier is the story of the curse of potential, Mike. He's been told his whole life he's going to be something, and the fact that he's now nearing the end of his 20s and he hasn't gotten to the heights that were promised him, it has turned into a cancer eating him up inside.
Exactly, and that is such a shame because, like you said, he has great potential. Again, he was actually handpicked by Sin to tag up with Wes Rogers, the current AON Tag Team Champion, at Thundercade against a team called the Culmination. If you know who the Culmination is, you know how tough they were, and he came out on the victory side. Since then, a falling out with Sin, and now, like you said, has been out on his own.
Isaiah Frazier has a strong boxing background, gifted hands. That's why they call him the tooth collector, because he's going to knock them out of your jaw. But Edward James, the original, the first Xtream champion, while this is not a hardcore match, we can't ignore that Edward James is seconded not only by his tag team partner, but also his barbed wire bat.
And let's point out right now that you look where Andrew Lovelace is. He is not really close to the ring. He's kind of backing up, letting Edward James do this himself. And I kind of respect that from the man.
Well, Andrew Lovelace is another man who's been searching for redemption. When we first saw Andrew Lovelace enter an HWF ring, he had a lot of attitude, really felt very entitled, but now trying to live up to the memory of his brother. Andrew Lovelace has really turned around, and he's sort of been doing the same thing for Edward James, providing him a different path.
Well, that's the thing. Sometimes when two guys are lost, two guys can't find their chi or their center, so to speak, you tag up with somebody, and suddenly you have a new lease on life. It worked out for two guys by the name of Jesse James and Rockabilly, and look what happened to them.
Edward James went for a quick cover. It's going to take a lot more than that to down Isaiah Frazier, the gifted man with gifted hands. That's what I'm talking about, that boxing background, stick and move offense. So quick by Isaiah Frazier.
That sliding variation of the flatliner, and Isaiah could not get the 3 count. You're not going to be able to beat somebody like Edward James with that kind of a maneuver.
Isaiah Frazier just on Edward James, raking the back.
Hey, he's one of those guys, he's only here for checks and championships. He's doing whatever he can to win.
Well, Isaiah Frazier wants a job. Isaiah Frazier was an alternate. He wants to come in here. He wants to beat one of the homegrown talents, and he's about to do it right now.
And a kick out at 2, and that's a great way of an application.
Yeah, if you want to get a job in a wrestling promotion, beat one of their former champions. The only easier, better way to do it is if you beat one of the current champions.
Well, even if you don't beat the guy, if you at least have a good showing, you can have a job very easily. We've seen guys that have not had good showings get jobs just because of what they can do in the ring and their natural athletic ability.
Yeah, I don't think Isaiah Frazier settles for anything less than a win, as we're seeing right now. He doesn't want a good showing, Mike. He wants a W. And Edward James, especially after losing the Xtream Championship, is looking for a rebound victory. You lose once, okay, you can get back on the horse. You lose multiple times in a row, it can really get in your head.
You can really lack confidence. And what a jawbreaker by Edward James right there. Edward James has got him locked up. Nice belly-to-belly suplex, and stays over for the cover.
Edward James was a member of the tag team Felony alongside Steve Steele. While Steve Steele is in recovery, he has found, as you said, camaraderie with Andrew Lovelace, who so far has just been giving support from the outside and not interfering.
Like you said before, both these guys are a little bit lost. Edward James losing that title, trying to find his way, trying to get a winning streak. Isaiah Frazier trying to get a job. Both these guys have everything to gain, everything to win in this matchup.
A lot on the line for both men. And Isaiah Frazier, cover right now, looking to put away one of the most violent, dangerous men in HWF history, a man who has fought for the HWF Championship, a man who won the Xtream Championship. That is an impressive resume here in the short history of HWF. Absolutely,
and even that kick out whenever Isaiah Frazier went for the cover, didn't have a lot of life, didn't have a lot of oomph into it.
No,
now he's being worn out.
Explosive offense, great snap by Isaiah Frazier, and Edward James. Edward James is, just call it like we see it, an older competitor, incredibly violent. But the question is, in a longer match, who has better cardio? Whose body is going to be up to the challenge?
Yeah, obviously the younger of the two has the advantage. But that's my problem with Isaiah Frazier, is the way he's jaw-jacking with the audience and not staying on your opponent. Like you said, this guy's a former champion. You can't take him lightly.
Well, not just the audience. He's jaw-jacking with Steve Steele. We saw Steve earlier, the former tag team partner of the former tag team partner of Edward James. Isaiah Frazier making a lot of enemies here in a very short period of time.
I think Steve Steele's making a few enemies himself. Oh, what a blockbuster by Edward James!
What a fantastic comeback being attempted by Edward James. If you're going to take someone down, take them out at their weakest point, and on the human body, that's got to be the neck.
Well, the problem is that Edward James has suffered a lot of abuse in this matchup, a lot of damage. Right now, can't even follow up with a cover. He's even rolled away from Isaiah Frazier, not really sure 100% where he's at in the ring right now.
Was able to create some space, was able to create some separation, but can Edward James capitalize? Can he have the heart of a champion even without a belt?
After a couple nice clotheslines, he's got him up, walking around the ring, making him think about it before he slams it.
All that blood rushing to the brain of Isaiah Frazier disorients, makes it harder for him to get up, put him in positioning for a pin.
Drops the elbow, goes right into the cover, didn't waste time. I like that from somebody. That is smart, basic wrestling that a lot of people forget.
Great skills, great foundational wrestling knowledge. A trainee and a longtime rival of Matt TRK Silks, our champion, is Edward James, graduate of the Mifflin County Professional Wrestling Academy.
I think he was almost looking to break some code right there, but instead got reversed into the corner, leg sweep off the ropes, and what a kick by Isaiah Frazier to the side of the head. And Frazier speeding up.
There is smoke, there's fire. Isaiah Frazier bringing the smoke right there. Getting frustrated, getting aggravated. Isaiah Frazier is tired of waiting. He wants the opportunities, and he wants them right now.
Well, that was a great succession of maneuvers. That would have maybe pinned a lesser man, but not Edward James.
Isaiah Frazier has been so close to making a definitive statement here in his debut match. Edward James wanting to get back to winning ways. Wild swing and a miss by both men.
And now breaking a little code right there for you. Down goes Frazier, down goes Frazier.
Can he do it? He can!
What a great day. What a great debut by Isaiah Frazier, but Edward James, he got the win and back on the winning trail.
Violent Love looking to build up some momentum, whether as singles or as a tag team. Edward James bouncing back with a big win, but Isaiah Frazier, the Jawbreaker, the Tooth Collector, Philadelphia and Charm City's finest, showing I think he absolutely belongs in an HWF ring on a regular basis. Now, I don't know if either of us have the pull or the push to make that happen, but if you're listening, Mr. Phil Stamper or Ms. Trista Silks, hey, please take it to heart. I do have to acknowledge